had a lot of different experiences playing high level hockey. What do you think one of the biggest lessons you've learned doing that is?
I think one of the biggest lessons just throughout any kind of thing you're passionate about is just staying the course, even when things aren't going well. I think everyone sees the highlights, right? Especially now with the way social media is. It wasn't even like that when I was going through, my hockey journey and stuff like that. But I think just being able to kind of stick with the process over time, dealing with the highs and lows, and just kind of staying neutral, just controlling what you can control, and just always reminding yourself of that um, when things are going great, but also when things aren't going well, and just kind of finding that middle ground of just taking that next step forward, I think is the biggest thing that I think you can carry with you through anything you're doing.
Yeah, that's huge, especially like with handling adversity. Do you have any advice on how you've handled adversity during your career?
I think there's a couple ways you can look at it, but I think I always just try to remind myself, like, control what you can control. If you don't make a team, or you're not playing as much as you'd like to be, like, well, what can you do about it? It's just sitting there complaining isn't going to move the needle forward for you. And so, whether you're where you want to be and you want to be in a better spot, or you're not where you want to be, and everyone has adversity. So I think reminding yourself that um, it's normal. You should have some. If you don't, it probably means you're not pushing yourself enough, to be honest. And so I think just embracing that, like sitting down and just looking in the mirror and what can you control in this situation, and then just, I used to say get 1% better every day, and now I've realized like 1% is way too big. So now it's like get 0.1, 0.01, like just make a little progress in something when you're going through some adversity, and then you know you come out on the other side a little bit better for it.
Absolutely. I love that. So, you were recognized at the collegiate level and at the pro level for your contributions like outside of hockey, whether like volunteering and that kind of thing. So, why is it important to give back in that way to you?
I just think anytime you have any kind of platform, big or small, right? I didn't have the biggest platform. I wasn't no one was a Caitlin Clark in terms of like the level she's getting, right? But I think in anything, just to get involved in the community you're in, I think is super important in college, whether it's a toy drive or something like that. I just think it's super important to use whatever we can to try and give back in a little way. We're very fortunate to play sports in general, but hockey in particular, right? It's not a cheap sport, and so I think if you can give back your time, energy, just some motivation to maybe the next generation, I think we should all embrace that and enjoy that part of the process as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I really agree with that. So, pivoting a little bit, how did you transition into your coaching roles after you were done playing?
I never thought I would coach. If you asked me in college, I was like, nope, not gonna coach. Just didn't think I would. I don't know. I just didn't think I would love it that much. But when you're in your own career, it's hard to think about like dedicating your time to like a whole team of people. But once I was wrapping up my playing career and kind of looking at options and things like that, it was kind of just like, well, I just can't imagine my life without hockey. And I started really enjoying, working with the younger players and sharing what I was learning, and trying to help them in any way I could. And then you just kind of naturally start gravitating more and more. And it becomes a craft just like it was as a player, right? You're always trying to get better at something. And now I try and take that. And now as a coach, like, how can I get better at communicating something? How can I get better at teaching this, or, helping this player believe that they can improve in this area? So I think you just take all those same skills you learn as a hockey player, and you can apply them to any part of life.
I agree. There's always so much to learn, which I think keeps it interesting.
Hmm.
So, last question, how do you define success for yourself now and determine what you want to pursue?
Oh, good question. Um, I don't know. I think for me, like, I think it maybe the way we define success is always changing and evolving. Like when I was a student athlete, it would have been one thing, and now it's something totally different. And I think it's just the idea of having something you're working towards and making progress towards it. Like to me, that points you in the direction of success. I don't think there's like an endpoint I did this and now I'm successful. I think everything, right? You get to the top of a mountain, there's always a higher peak. There's a next peak, there's a next whatever. So I think it's just the continual improvement towards what you're passionate about. I think if you kind of end a day feeling like you got a little bit better in some area of what you want to do or be passionate about or that you just love, I think then that's kind of a win that day. And you stack a few of those together and you've got yourself going in the right direction. And to me, I think that's success.
Absolutely. I love that.